Oh man, breaking news. Breaking news. It looks like Golden Boy and Top Rank coming together, trying to work together to deliver us a big fight in the first quarter of 2024. Now, can 24 be just as good as 23 in the sport of boxing? Boy, I sure hope so. Let's talk about it. What up, YouTube? Big T.O. Heavy Bad Boxing TV, man. Get your goof ass in here. Hit the bag. Hit that like button for your boy. That helps the channel. You know, I appreciate that love. Shout out my gang, man. The bag hitters. Y'all know the count. Real quick, man. Ryan Garcia. Let me tell you, listen, I like Ryan Garcia, man. I like Ryan. He won me over, bro. And I think he won a lot of fans over. And I'm talking about the way because he didn't win, of course. He got knocked out, 7th round, Tank Davis, in the biggest fight in boxing, numbers-wise, in 2023. He didn't win, but in defeat, man, the kid was graceful. And the way he handled the defeat, no excuses made. The way he handled the adversity, not having his full team behind him, basically abandoning him in those moments, in his first defeat, in the moments he's probably needed them the most, the way he conducted himself, the way he handled everything, man, so gracefully, the way he didn't mind shouting out his Lord and Savior, everything collectively about Ryan Garcia in those moments just straight won me over. So I'm hoping for the best for Ryan Garcia. And it appears that they trying to get him matched up with a Teofimo Lopez first quarter of 2023. Now, according to Oscar De La Hoya, who had this to say, quote, "What a great meeting with the Bob Father. I'm calling on all promoters to unite and make the biggest fights and the best fights possible for boxing fans." End quote. All right. So that's a huge signal that he had a meeting with Bob Arum, potentially in the talks or negotiations. You probably can officially say that negotiations has started for Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez, right? I can't think of any other fights that they would want to come to work to together. It's got to be big. And if it's going to be big for Golden Boy, Ryan Garcia's involved. At 140 is Teofimo Lopez. So you like to think that this is the fight that's in negotiations, right? We smart people. I like to think that y'all smart. I like to, I give myself a little bit of credit. We can put the pieces together. And that'll be big. And you think about Teofimo Lopez. I don't think his purse and his pocketbook matches his accomplishments. You're talking about somebody who has beat 2 lineal champions in 2 separate weight divisions. If it wasn't for circumstances, this guy would be 2 times undisputed champ, right? To say the least. Unfortunately for him, he hasn't been with the right promotional team. Somebody with those accomplishments should be a much more well-known fighter, right? To have those accomplishments. He's got to bear the weight of some of those bad decisions or that led to the promotional teams he's been with. I'm just saying, I ain't pointing no fingers, but you got to take some of that on the chin. And I think that's why he contemplated retirement. But now it seems like he's got a new lease on life, and maybe now he can go ahead and kind of have that tunnel vision and focus in on what he can do to start earning in the sport of boxing, now that he's definitely got some of those huge accomplishments out of the way. All right. And Ryan Garcia is most definitely one way to go. You're talking about somebody who was the other half of the biggest fight, numbers wise, in the sport of boxing in 2023, along with Tank Davis, with a fight that reportedly did 1.4 million pay-per-view buys, right? Teofimo Lopez needs some of that clout. He needs to tap into that Ryan Garcia market, and this would be one big way to do it. Huge world title fight for Ryan Garcia, something he's yet to do, and a lot of exposure for a Teofimo Lopez, extremely talented fighter, something he's yet to do, which is to tap into a large market of casual fans that he could potentially win over. I really, really like this fight. But first, Ryan Garcia has to get through a really, really tough opponent in Oscar Duarte. Now, when you look at the resume of Oscar Duarte, you know what I mean, it's nothing. It's not much there to see. You got a guy that's 26-1 with 21 big wins by knockout. One thing we do know at the professional level, it appears that he has some power. Right now, a few videos ago, I got myself in a little bit of trouble because those Duarte and Latino fans, or like, they was coming for my top because I called Duarte a bit of a tomato can. Well, I didn't call him that. I put it in a title, and that was just to kind of get your attention, to let you know that, listen, I don't care how tough you think this guy is, Golden Boy sees him as a stepping stone, as a tune-up for Ryan Garcia. No matter how you slice the cake, they are looking past Duarte. All right? If you in a meeting with Bob Arum talking about Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia, but you have Duarte on the table for December the 2nd, what does that tell you? Again, I like to think that you guys are smart. I'd like to give myself some damn credit. If you're talking about a Teofimo Lopez fight, that means you're looking past Duarte. That means you know he hasn't seen nobody the level of a Ryan Garcia, and more than likely, Ryan Garcia is going to smoke the 35-pounder. That's another knock on Ryan Garcia as well, too. This is another 35-pounder that they bringing up to 140 for Ryan Garcia. I think it would be detrimental not to get him in there with a true 140-pounder before he does seek out the likes of some of these world champions, especially somebody as dangerous as a Teofimo Lopez. But that's a whole nother story. It looks like they might just do Duarte and jump right into that Teofimo Lopez first quarter. It looks like they're targeting Super Bowl weekend, which is a huge weekend, and that fight could be massive. But I like it. I definitely like this matchup, and I like the fact that Oscar De La Hoya and Bob Arum are coming together to try and make it work. I definitely like that statement from Oscar De La Hoya. Now, I know Oscar gets a lot of shit from a lot of different people, man, but, you know, when you make statements like that, as far as him calling on all of the promoters to work together to unite and make the biggest fights, I respect that, because boxing needs that. If you're going to continue to have these really, really good years full of great matchups in the sport of boxing, depending on who is where and with what promotional company, you need those guys to unite. None of that cross the street bullshit. Come together, make the biggest fights at the end of the day. I like that from Oscar. And, you know, a lot of people don't say a lot of nice things about Oscar, but I'm going to give him his flowers when he does say certain things. You know what I mean? That's all I got for y'all on this one, man. Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez. It looked like this fight is officially in negotiations, all right? That's all I got for y'all on this one. Big Teo Heavy Bag. Talk to him, Roger.
Most motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing.